when you bootlick billionaires. So there's a lot of people that just love to dick suck billionaires, you know what I'm saying? And one of them today, we got ourselves Asmondgold. You know what I'm saying? You probably know who he is. I think I reacted to a video to him the other day when he was like, I guess he got like a girlfriend or some shit. But this motherfucker is I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna go into detail. Me personally, don't like the fucking guy. I really don't like this nigga. If you have a problem with that, you're probably a chud fucking loser.
Talk about Asmongold, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Sneeko was right on the money when he referred to this man as Asmongold, and you should let me tell you why. When I
Asmondgold.
see Asmongold, I can't help but think that if I was a little more conspiratorial, I would call this guy controlled opposition, because he is literally the epitome of billionaire bootlicker. Why is it that a millionaire streamer who is insulated by his wealth, spreading very divisive rhetoric amongst the working class? My working theory is that he might be a white supremacist, but what I do know definitively is that he is a right-wing robot. When it comes
I think he's a grifter. He gets paid to do this shit. I think he actually gets paid to do this shit. I think that's why. And his audience as well, most of his audience is from, like, they're just racist UK niggas. I'm not gonna lie, bro. So it's like, anytime he does try to get out of this situation, his audience always shits on him every time. So it's like he's stuck in a trap where he has to keep doing this shit. And I'm not making excuses for him. This isn't me trying to protect him or nothing like that. I promise you it's not that. I don't like this guy. I do think he is a fucking loser. I don't care if you have yourself, I don't care if you're in a fucking relationship. You're still a fucking loser, gang.
To Asmongold, though, there are so many crazy clips that I'm surprised he hasn't just gotten nuked off of every single platform. It's crazy how this man has gone unchecked and unchallenged as he constantly perpetuates some of the most dangerous rhetoric I've ever seen. So today, twin, I just want to talk about how Asmongold is doing nothing but spreading divisive nonsense and how he's nothing but a right-wing android. So if this tea interests you, twin, you might as well come and tap in.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. If you consider yourself right-wing, there's something wrong with you, bro. Like, if you consider yourself to be a right-wing person, there's actually something wrong with you, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I don't get it. Especially if you're like the average American or the average working class member. How can you be right-wing? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I'm in for the algorithm. Okay, now before I even get into some of these insane and horrific clips and some of the crazy rhetoric that Asmongold is saying.
Why does dude have potting mix in the fucking background?
I actually want to start off with the Sneeko clip that influenced me to make this video.
Message to Dan Clancy and Twitch. I'm banned what, for criticizing Jewish supremacy? Criticizing Israel? You said I'm banned for hate speech, you haven't specified why. One of your top streamers, Asmongold, that kafir, is saying he thinks that you should shoot babies in the head. Because
I mean, I think he did say. I saw a clip, literally before I did start doing reactions and shit today. I literally saw a clip of this nigga saying that, like, immigrant children should get, like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, he just straight up said that, bro. Like, he said, well, they shouldn't have brought their children. They're just using their children as shield so that they can have an excuse to sneak into the country and just some stupid shit like that, bro. This nigga's weird, bro.
they could be used as a human shield.
Yeah, this is what I think that's what he's talking about.
And
yeah,
that is not punished, and that's still openly being promoted on your platform. It's just demonic at this point.
Now here's the thing, I will be making a video on Sneeko in the near future, but he was on the money here. This guy Asmongold literally was talking about shooting babies, and he's talked about shooting people and how he supports that multiple times, and yet he has still not been banned on the Twitch platform. And at this point in history, we know that Twitch plays favorites, but some of this stuff is genuinely just not okay. And by not banning these people and not removing them from their platforms, it just shows what Twitch permits. And if you're an intellectual, you should know that what you permit is what you allow, and what you believe.
What you allow, you believe that shit. You agree with it.
Even, or at least people can infer that's what you believe in, because certain stuff needs to be disavowed, especially Asmongold. And as a warm-up for some of the horrific stuff we're about to get into, this is a clip of Asmongold saying he doesn't care about the genocide.
Here, I'm gonna stop it right here before I say anything, before he continues this video. Take a deep breath. Okay. You good now? Let's not crash out. Let's not get mad. Because anytime it gets a little political, I get a little pissed off. Because a lot of this shit is common fucking sense. Okay? Not gonna crash out. Just let him say what he's gonna say.
In 2024 because of Islamophobic talking points, as in the Sharia law nonsense. Take a look.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a They're terrible people. It's not even a question.
Here's my thing, dude. People always use Sharia law as an Islamophobic dog whistle.
Right.
Basically, it's just a way for right-wingers and these conservatives to fearmonger people who believe in Islam. And regardless of what Asmondgolds wants to say, history has reflected that Palestinians were at the receiving end of this genocide. And in 2026, we literally have websites that will show you the documented genocide. It's all on video. There is no denying.
Bro, the people, these niggas in Israel, these people are sick, gang. Like, they're dead ass sick, bro. Okay. I don't want to talk about this too deeply because this is going to be an hour fucking video. But, like, gang, they literally passed a law. I think they passed a law to have gators around Palestinian camps, gang, or some shit like that. They passed a law where they permit the hanging of Palestinians and like torture of them. Like what? Like I don't know. And it's like people use this they say, "Oh, well, I don't like the Palestinians cuz they have Sharia law." Like, gang, like the Palestinians didn't do anything wrong. You know, just like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't deserve to get genocided for regardless of what the reason is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wanted to start off by showing you this because Asmondgolds is literally just heartless. He is a hollow human. The Gaza genocide is one of the most well-documented genocides we have. It's a genocide we've had a front row seat to view digitally, and using Islamophobic dog whistles does not change that fact. And that's why I agree with the term Asmondgolds, because when I think of the word goy, I think of robot for the billionaires. What the billionaires and these elites want you to do is they want you to deny the genocide and they want us to be divided. And when you look at Asmondgolds' rhetoric on the internet, what does he do? He bootlicks the billionaires and the elites, and he tries to divide people by spreading this harmful rhetoric. Now, frankly, I do think this guy is very dumb and I think he's very ignorant. But if this is all some
what the fuck is in that cup? Go back. Hold on. What the fuck?
Rhetoric. Now, frankly, I do think this guy is very dumb and I think he's very
Why is this cup brown inside, bro? What the fuck? Am I tripping?
ignorant. But if this is all somehow fabricated stupidity, then he is a propagandist, and that would be even worse. But let me show you guys a clip of him talking about how we should shoot kids.
Always, this is emotional blackmail, right? Well, you can't shoot these people, they have kids with them. Well, then don't bring your kids. If you don't want to get shot, then don't bring your kids. It's really simple.
If you don't want to get shot, then don't bring your kids? What?
You mean you'd shoot adults and deport the kids, right? Well, I'd shoot whoever.
What the
Yeah, I'd
fuck?
shoot whoever. I mean, if it's kids, women, men, anybody, just shoot them. They're going to stop coming over. Because if you don't do that, they'll use children and women as shields to get themselves over. And then they'll put more women and children at risk because they know that they can use them as collateral so they can get more of themselves over. That's the way it works. That's the way an animal thinks, and these people are animals. It's just the way it is.
This guy is spewing violent, dehumanizing rhetoric to his audience of thousands of people on live. This man is truly devoid of empathy and truly out of touch with the working class. And by the way,
literally,
the whole topic is the board.
And for every average American, working class to me is like every average American out there, like myself. We all work a job somewhere, right? Like, that is the working class, right? Like, what does shit going on across the fucking globe have anything to do with your life getting better? How does that make sense? How does protecting Israel benefit your life? That's what I'm trying to get here. Like,
and he's basically saying that people need to be made an example out of by having their children shot at if they try to cross the borders with their children. And that will stop people from using.
Gang, this country was born off of fucking immigrants, nigga! Oh my god!
Those are his words.
Oh
But
my
thing
gosh.
is, why is he dehumanizing these people so much? And that's because he is in a position where he doesn't have to afford anyone empathy. He's been insulated by his wealth and his privileges of just being an American. He doesn't question why people are trying to flee their countries. He doesn't question what their circumstances are. He's just worried about border security and how we should.
What is it called? Xenophobia is when you like, I think he's a xenophobe. He's xenophobic or something. I don't know. You got to look up the definition. I'm not perfect, so if
Force it via shooting children. And this type of extreme rhetoric is why the Overton window has been shifting so far to the right and why we're in this mess with Trump right now. It's a lack of empathy. It's a lack of putting yourself in other people's shoes, and he's platforming these ideals and this rhetoric to all these people and trying to make it seem like it's normal. And I've never really understood the whole we have to enforce our borders thing, especially when you look at school shooters and mass shooters. They're all white folks. They're white
men
people. Basically, I'm trying to say that Asmongold is an agent of the elite class. He's trying to turn
that's what I think too. He's literally getting paid by these people. There's no way.
marginalized groups into this
And bro's on kick.
boogeyman that everyone should be afraid of. And he's doing this to distract you from the fact that the actual elite class is actively harming our planet and actively harming us. He has all this smoke about border protection, but has Asmongold talked about all of the recalls in our produce and our food?
Walmart announces recall of pistachio nut butter. Bro, this country is falling apart, bro. And that's actually something I want to mention. And I feel like a lot of people, I've had to explain to a few people this recently, and I really get sick and tired of this, bro. And the sad reality of the state of our world right now, like with especially more specifically, I'm just going to talk about America, right? This country has no future, bro. We have to rebuild an entirely new country from scratch at this point. These politicians, the billionaires from both sides, not just Republicans, both sides. They have all failed us, gang. You know, not didn't fail us, but they're just pieces of shit. But like, none of them, like it's like they are all a byproduct of the system itself. You know what I mean? And a lot of people keep thinking, like, well, what if we just, get rid of all these politicians, the billionaires, and the foreign, lobbies and all that shit. Like, what if you just get rid of all of them? Well, you still have the system. Once you get rid of Trump, something worse than Trump is just going to come and take his place, bro. Like, that's just the reality, bro. Like, you can't fix this country. You have to rebuild an entirely new country from scratch at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to start over. Like, new name, grab a new piece of paper, piece by piece, build something new. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, all of it's just going to keep getting worse. It's never going to get better until we move on from this system. And that's just how it is, bro. Unfortunately. And I think people need to accept that. People need to start being more open-minded. You know what I mean? And stop believing in so many fucking fairy tales, you know what I'm saying? Because if we did, we wouldn't be here, bro.
And these are all things that are happening because of the elites that run our government. Not immigrants, not black people, not brown people. But Asmongold won't talk about that because that doesn't fit his racist worldview. Immigrants are not just violent people. And especially in America, our economy is built off the backs of immigrants. Our economy is built off the backs of non-white people. The labor that shaped the modern day.
And literally, this country was built off of immigrants.
America came from slaves. It's this weird xenophobic elitism that causes people like Asmongold to view people who are fleeing their countries as non-humans. This guy gags at drinking water, doesn't leave the house, and he feels like he has the authority to speak on people who are less fortunate than him. Are you dead ass, bro? And since I'm talking a lot, let's just move on to the next clip because there's more that I have.
That cup is fucking nasty. What the fuck is that?
To show you. He's had this extreme rhetoric for so long. If you type in Asmongold in your Twitter search bar, all you have to do is scroll and you'll find a new disgusting clip from this guy. Let's talk about how this guy was advocating for rioters to be shot.
Republicans are afraid to project power. I think that's fundamentally what the issue.
Republicans are afraid to reject power. Gang. Every time a Republican gets in office, they start a war. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean, bro?
issue is they're afraid to project power because they're worried that people will get mad. Like, I think they're totally ideologically captured by looking for media approval or something like that.
They don't need media approval. They'll just fake the approval on Fox News, gang.
Unfortunately, yeah, they always shift back to Uniparty. The Minnesota reaction spooked them. Well, can you imagine how much
Oh, yeah, of course it spooked them. Nick, bro, of course it did, bro.
better Minnesota would have been if Trump had just sent in a National Guard and shot those people with rubber bullets? Like, it would have been over so fast, it would have been hilarious. And then you would have never had any of this happen. But unfortunately, if you let people be wild and be violent, they're going to be wild and violent. So with real
Hey, guys, protesting is wild and violent, guys.
Oh, I'm a big fan of shooting the rioters. I am. Like, if you're rioting and throwing...
It's like I said, bro, and it's just simple. Protesters are... Come on, bro. He's dog whistling. He's advocating to say, hey, like, we should... protesters, bro. That's what he's doing, and it has been happening, bro. Like,
rocks at police officers, yeah, I think they should shoot you in the head, like, just straight up. Like, nobody should be throwing rocks at a police officer for any reason. Like, what the are we doing? So the judge is in place, everything up. Well, the thing about shooting somebody is that it doesn't really matter what the judge says because it's not going to bring them back. They're a judge, not a necromancer, okay?
Now, I really shouldn't have said rioters because it'd be more accurate to say protesters because
right. It's not like that's it's the dog whistling and like these type of they dog whistle and shit. And it's funny how he says like, oh well, there's no point in putting in a trial because the guy's dead. What's the judge gonna know, gang? That means give the guy justice. Just because you can't just murder someone because they threw a little stone at him. Oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Talking about the situation that happened in Minnesota and Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, when there was a surge of ICE agents, and unfortunately, Renee Good and
I truly believe that shit that happened in Minnesota. I mean, it's happening right now. It's happening all over the country right now with the ICE shit. But like, I truly believe this shit was a test to see how people would react, and when they didn't get the reaction that they wanted, or you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Reaction that they wanted. Because I feel like they want people to be pissed off and they want people to riot so they can use martial law across the entire nation and use that as an excuse to keep people. That's what they're looking for, bro. They're looking for anger. They want us to be angry and mad.
Alex Pretty lost their lives at the hand of those ICE thugs. And this is the billionaire
R.I.P.
bootlicker Asmondgolds saying that the Republicans need to project more strength. Do you guys see just how out of touch this man is? He's saying that the government needs to
No, he's not out of touch. He knows exactly what he's saying.
project strength upon
Don't get it twisted. He knows what he's saying, bro.
its people. He's saying that they need to show a display of power just to get people in line. What type of
And what makes you think that would work here in America? Because it didn't scare Americans. It made more people protest. It made more people angry. That's all it did. It didn't. Oh no, we gotta hide in our houses. Please don't hurt. No, it actually pissed off people.
alien style ruling is he referring to? Keep in mind, this guy does not leave his crib, and yet he has all these violent fantasies that he is clearly projecting onto his stream. And look, bro, I'm not saying you should attack police officers or assault them, but I really don't give a damn. And I hate when people like Asmongold try to do this thing where they place police officers on this high-ass pedestal. They try to treat them as a sacrosanct profession, and you really shouldn't treat police officers as sacrosanct because all you do is enable extrajudicial killings. Even if police officers got rocks thrown at
He doesn't care. The nigga is wealthy. He doesn't live he doesn't live. He got money, gang. He don't
that is
care.
not a lethal weapon. Nor should we normalize the idea that officers of the law can just kill you without due process of the court of law. I really don't know how else I can say it. This guy is genuinely insane. Like, he is
No, he knows exactly what he's doing, bro.
mentally ill. He is the epitome of Goy because he is nothing but a robot for these elites that want to destroy our planet. This is the rhetoric he's putting out for all these people that watch him, and nobody will ever challenge him. I don't know why these streaming platforms won't take him down, because in my honest opinion, this is really appalling. This is genuinely appalling. How could you even speak on these two tragedies, the loss of 2 lives, in such a way? He even goes as far as to say judges
It's not even just them. There's plenty of other people that have died too because of these people that hasn't been put out there, but it's a lot more than them too. There was a guy, he was a citizen and he got murdered. by a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are not necromancers. The way I see it, it seems like Asmongold is advocating for extrajudicial killings, and that is one of the most scary, horrific things that I've ever heard a nigga say. And what's frying me, bro, is that he got this like RuneScape type of music, this fantasy.
I know, he got this happy ass
Game
music.
of Thrones ass music in the background as he goes on these schizophrenic right-wing rambles. But let me show you guys this next clip where he's literally advocating for people to be put in camps.
Like, if it
That's what they're. So, like, that's another thing I want to say. These ICE detention facilities, they're all across the country. They have shooting ranges in them. They are getting. I'm not going to go into details. Y'all should know this by now, bro. These are concentration camps, gang. This is real. This is real. You are witnessing the fall of democracy and the rise of fascism and oligarchy here in America. I mean, technically, the oligarchy has already been here. But now that the country is falling apart and collapsing because we're a dying empire, these billionaires, they're trying to hold as much power as they can before this shit collapses. You know what I'm saying? And what they're hoping for is they're trying to create civil war here in America within our own people, but it's not working. It's not going to work. And so they're panicking, and they're building these data centers, and they're building all these things, and you know what I mean?
it was up to me, all of these people would be in camps and they'd be sent back to their own home country, right? I don't want any of these people in any Western country. They shouldn't be here. They don't deserve to be here. All they do is cause problems, and I don't want their culture here. I don't want the way they act here.
America does not really have a culture except for AR-15s and just guns in general, gang.
I don't want to deal with them, period. That's really the way I feel. I don't think most people do.
Most people actually don't agree with you, bro.
Just straight up. I call it whatever you want. Explain it however you want to explain it. I don't want it here.
That's xenophobia. That's what xenophobia is. The shit that he's doing right there, that's he's being xenophobic. Like,
now, admittedly, I don't know the full context of this clip, but I don't think you really need the full context to begin with.
You don't need it.
Clearly just expressing very xenophobic views.
Thank you. That's what the word is. It is xenophobic. It is. I'm saying it right.
Which is just very interesting because the idea of America is that it's a melting pot of cultures and people. But for some reason, this billionaire bootlicker is talking about how these people cause problems and how no one wants them.
And that's why the shit that these billionaires are trying to push with this whole AI thing, trying to divide Americans, it would never work because Americans, we grew up knowing these things. Most Americans are like me and FDH in this video right here. You know what I mean? Like, most people don't support the shit that's going on in this country right now. Like, most people don't. Just because it seems like a lot of people are in the opposition of us, that doesn't mean that it is. It's really a small group of tiny people that actually believe and support the shit that this guy Asmongold is saying.
Asmongold, I guarantee there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't want you in America because of just how vile you are. And I don't think it's crazy to say he's likely referring to illegal immigrants. Like I said before, bro, the school shooters, the mass shooters, they are white folks. Who took out Kirk allegedly? A white boy. The Idaho shooting that went on? Who is doing that? A white boy. I think Asmongold is racist, so I'm gonna refer to him as such, but that is just my opinion, by the way.
No, he's a dog whistler. I'm just joking. I would never actually advocate. He says shit like that, but he actually does mean it. Don't fall for the little fucking the bullshit this nigga be doing,
I hate when these racist folks like to just completely disregard the fact that a lot of these shooters be white people, and white people cause a lot of problems.
That's like when Elon Musk goes on Twitter and he's like posting a bunch of shit about black people. A black guy committed this crime. Like, they're trying to create a civil war. They're trying to create division in our country. And it's not gonna fucking work, bro. It's not gonna work, bro.
America wasn't even originally a white man's land. It was conquered. What happened to Native Americans? White supremacy is the core of why our country has all of these problems. So you can't keep trying to offshoot it to these marginalized communities. You seem so stupid. But it's clear that the reason Asmongold feels this way is that he likely thinks that white people are truly superior.
You're a white man.
That's literally it. That's the only reason for all of this right here.
And in America right now, there is not a single system that is designed with your best interest in mind. Every single system is either designed to give other people advantages or to disadvantage you. This is just the case.
It's not hard to think that Asmongold believes that white people are superior. The systems he's referring to are systems that are put in place to prioritize equality, but he perceives equality as taking away freedoms or disadvantaging him. Things like DEI were meant to stop the white man bias because in America, people still view white man as the default. And I say that white men are the default because if you're not a white man, people will have biases. So in order to account for these biases, there were systems put in place to prevent it. That's not putting white men at a disadvantage, that is merely leveling the playing field. But to Asmongold, he perceives that
now DEI is not perfect, but it's something
as an attack on the white race, or I guess white men.
People are really not going to like this.
Well, this is dumbass Nick gotta
You're
say.
not being oppressed by the top 2% of society. You're being oppressed by the bottom 2% of society.
How the fuck does that even make sense? Like, just literally think about it. The top 2% basically have the most wealth, the most power in this nation, right? Let's be real. You know what I mean? Because that's what the system protects. It protects people like them. So you're telling me the bottom 2% are the problem with this nation? Poor people are the problem with this nation? Are you dead ass right now? Poor people are the problem with America, bro. Like, are you retarded, gang? Like, come on, bro.
And the bottom 2% of society have caused all of the manifest problems in your lives are caused by the bottom 2% in society.
So let me ask you a question, Asmongold.
Oh my god, bro.
Are the bottom 2% of society putting data centers everywhere that are destroying the environment and sucking up all their...
Oh my gosh, dude. This shit is crazy, bro. Dallas, Denver, Salt Lake, Las Vegas, Santa Fe, LA, Tijuana. Bro. This shit is getting bad, bro. 40,000. Why do we need these data centers? Well, obviously I do know why. I'm actually not even gonna ask that stupid ass fucking question.
Clean drinking water. Is it the fault of the bottom 2% that tons of our produce and our groceries are being recalled because there isn't proper food safety regulations? And is it the bottom 2%'s fault that we are literally entering a water crisis globally? The answer is no. What Asmongold is doing is deliberately engaging in divisive conversation.
What these billionaires and these people are trying to do, they are trying to create a civil war. They are trying to create a civil war so that like you see, so every time America starts a war, usually it's to distract you from something. That's usually what it is. It's a part of it is a distraction from what's going on in our government, bro. So that's what the war is for, right? So like with this Iran war, this war is going to end very soon, right? We're not going to win the war. We're out of munitions. We can't win this war, right? So because this war is about to end, what other distraction does our government have? Venezuela's, that we can't do Venezuela. We can't conquer Mexico. You can't conquer Canada, right? You can't do these things. I mean, they can, but we would fail because we couldn't even beat Iran. So it's like, you know what I mean? What other distractions do they have? What other? You know what they're going to do? They're going to try to create a civil war. These billionaires and people, they're going to sneak out of the country, steal as much wealth as they can, politicians too, and they're going to have us arguing and bickering of each other while they dip and flee out, bro. That's the goal, bro, so they can control the shit for country from a distance. That's what they're trying to do, bro. That's the goal, bro. That's the goal. That's what they're trying to do. Everybody fucking knows this already, bro. They're trying to create a civil war, bro. They're trying to create divisions.
And he is shielding for the billionaires that he bootlicks. All of the problems we have in society right now are not the fault of the bottom 2%. It's the fault of these systems that put people in positions where they have to do things to survive. And the people who run these systems are the top 2%. They're
the funny thing is like, out of all the wealth in this nation, 2.5% in the country, which is like most people in the country, isn't it like 98% of the wealth is all the billionaires have in this nation? So he's basically saying like it's the average American's fault, right? Is that what it is? Maybe I'm wrong. But like regardless, it's like, how is it the average American's fault that things are collapsing in this nation? But that's what these billionaires and these politicians, these presidents are trying to do. They're trying to shift the blame off themselves, gang. That's what they're trying to do, bro. That's literally what they're trying to do, bro.
Billionaires, the elite class, and even our own government. But this
Right.
billionaire bootlicker Asmongold wants you to believe it's your fellow working class citizens that are causing all the problems in your life. And he's saying this as a millionaire who is insulated with his wealth and won't feel the brunt of the Trump administration. He don't gotta worry about healthcare. He don't gotta worry about the food recalls because he can purchase the top of the line organic groceries. He doesn't have to worry about whether or not he's gonna pay his rent next month. This guy is insulated with his wealth, and he's trying to tell you that your fellow working class citizen that is also struggling to survive is your enemy, and not the rich folks like him who play shield for these billionaires that don't give a damn about you. Talk your shit, twin. But he knows what he's doing, because from his own words,
that nigga is fucking cooking, bruh.
he considers himself a mainstream ally to the white supremacists, such
Right.
as Nick Fuentes.
Like, Nick doesn't do that. Nick says exactly what he thinks, and it's respectable. It is. I don't have any negative about it. But to me, I view my role as being a more mainstream ally towards this stuff without necessarily spearheading any sort of like real controversial change, because I can't really do that. It would compromise my position. That's the reason. I'm a funnel. Yeah, I kind of do that. Yeah, like a funnel.
So he's basically admitting that he is trying to push this white supremacist, extreme right-wing ideology without compromising his position on social media. Which means that Asmongold is telling you to your face that he is a goy for the billionaires. He wants to be the white knight for the elite class as he divides and sows division within these communities. Now, in my humble opinion, I honestly think this is genuinely evil. There is nothing you can do to redeem yourself when this is the place you are putting in pop culture. The ideas he's spreading and perpetuating don't even benefit the working class. They don't even benefit your average citizen. They only benefit rich white folks. They only benefit the elite class. And yet somehow—
that's basically like the Republican Party, gang. Like people who consider themselves to be the modern day Republican. That is it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not defending Democrats because Democrats are enablers and they protect the institutions. And so it's like they're just wolves in sheep clothing. It's just two sides of the same fucking coin. So it's like they're not innocent either.
This guy has a bunch of fans. None of these big platforms actually push back against him, and he just gets to exist freely as he funnels people into more extreme outlets such as Nick Fuentes, who's literally just a white supremacist. So with all of that being said, my opinion on Asmongold is that this guy, he is a problem, a genuine problem. And he admits to the fact that he is being a mainstream funneler to more extreme platform. And he's doing so in a way that doesn't compromise his position. That is genuinely evil. But that's really all I had to say. I don't really want to talk about this lame nigga anymore. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions.
I don't want to talk about this lame nigga anymore. Nah, he cooked, bruh. Like these people, man, they're just out of touch, man. All they care about is they just care about themselves, man. These billionaires, they want to be worshipped as gods. And they'll do anything and pay anybody to spread lies. And they're just trying to spread division. They want there to be a civil war. They want us fighting against each other instead of pointing the problem at them. That's what they're doing, bro. Because this war in the Middle East is going to end very fucking soon. And what's going to happen when that ends, they're going to try to create a civil war. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Americans, we lock the fuck in. And we get rid of these fucking niggas and we don't fall for this shit, which I don't think we will, because most people are like you and I. We see it through all the bullshit, gang. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, a good night. I love y'all, man. Peace.